Well, what does CPR mean? C, conflict, P, prevention, R, resolution. And certainly so far as we're concerned, we're looking to prevent conflicts where we can, and if they arise, then obviously we need to resolve them as quickly and as amicably as we possibly can.
So CPR is critical because we are in such a litigious society where more and more disputes are escalating into full-fledged litigation. We have to consider alternatives. We owe it to our business colleagues to find measures for reaching disputes quickly and with cost-saving measures. And that's where CPR fills a very important hole and spot where it helps companies identify alternative ways to resolve disputes.
Now, from where I sit on the bench as a judge, I am grateful to litigants who use CPR and its resources to resolve their disputes because we have no shortage of cases on the court. We will never run out.
CPR encourages good business relationships if both sides are committed to finding these alternatives, because in the end it is obviously a less contentious way of trying to resolve these business disputes, and it allows you to take the rancor of litigation to some other place and focus on something a little bit more constructive.
As we do business around the world in over 60 countries, the rule of law and the judicial systems are not well developed, and you have to rely on commercial dispute resolution mechanisms that allow you to control the outcome. And CPR is your best resource to assist you in that objective.
Well, the 21st Century Pledge is an important addition to our original pledge. The next generation now is looking at how do you actually implement dispute resolution in a way that's sustainable for companies. So the 21st Century Pledge gives a roadmap for companies to do that. Just last night, CPR held its 9th Corporate Leadership Award dinner at the Waldorf Astoria. And in talking to several of the law firm participants in that amazing event, they told me that it made a huge difference to them to have the approach that partnered with their clients. The original pledge was a commitment in the context of an individual dispute. So you have a dispute, but before you go to trial, you agreed to consider alternatives to litigation. The new pledge is something very different because it says it's not about each individual case. It's about a broader approach and recognizes that in order for a company to be able to have a whole group of people within the company approaching dispute resolution in a new way, it needs a systemic approach.
The pledge is really a statement of the philosophy of Fluor when it comes to conflict management. It is a statement that we are always willing to engage in negotiation, mediation, and arbitration if necessary to resolve commercial disputes. And we are willing to do that not because we are not confident in our position, but because it makes good business sense. We're not in the business of litigation, we're in the business of doing engineering and construction.
The 21st Century Pledge brings a new insight into thinking about conflict resolution, more than just raising ideas about how to approach the other side to get a discussion going. The 21st Century Pledge brings a more systematic look across the entirety of a potential dispute, from early dispute resolution through mediation and on through that, looking for new and fresh ways for companies to get together and resolve disputes early and efficiently.
Amgen has been a signatory to the pledge since 1994. Earlier this year we signed the CPR 21st Century ADR Corporate Pledge. The pledge means a commitment by Amgen to try to resolve disputes using less expensive and more effective means rather than traditional litigation.
The board view the pledge as extremely important. The board knows what the problems are that can arise out of litigation, and if there are ways of avoiding it and ways of furthering our business needs without getting embroiled in the sort of litigation that can drag you down, then they see the huge value that there is in the pledge. They're real supporters.
The pledge is a reminder to us that sometimes you just need to step back and take a simple, common sense approach to conflict resolution. That you need to be open and agree when possible to ways that are less costly and less contentious to resolve disputes.
The 21st Century Pledge builds a lot of things into it, including the growth of global dispute resolution from all over the world, finding commonality and methods of solution, thinking of it as a system, as a way, as a first thing to do, and a commitment by responsible corporate business leaders that they will not start with litigation, they will start with an approach such as many alternatives that are offered by ADR. And that's what I think the new pledge does. It expands the previous pledge into saying we're in favor of it, to saying this is where we start and this is where we hope to succeed.